Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Join Jason on this Friday, and man, I hope it finds you well. Sit back, relax, strap on that seatbelt, leave the drive-in to us, and you know what? The heck with it. It's time to start drinking, guys. It really is. Yesterday was a really hard day for me personally. Yesterday, the gold dealer down the street had to close their doors. It's like the fourth or fifth one. This is a market that a lot of people are going to struggle with. I'll just say that. It reminds me, I was telling Jason, for those of you old-timers out there, Hans Tolving. You guys remember him, right? He was the Silver King. Got wiped out with the big silver market in 2011. This is going to be a very interesting time as gold and silver and the debasement trade, volatility is going to be immense. We are going to have massive up days. We're going to have massive down days and everything in between. For those that are going to look to sell, because this came up yesterday, it was an issue, and I want to prevent these going forward because this is how companies go out of business. So, for those of you, your little sellers, nothing really changes. You know, you need to sell $4, $5, $10, $20,000. You know, it's not a big deal. But for those of you, listen, we've been around a very long time, and the fact of the matter is, gosh, there's a lot less gold dealers out there that have been around anywhere close to how long we've been around. If you're looking to sell larger quantities, call the 800 number. We're not going to do it through email because we've got to be very nimble here. Make sure trade numbers, right? We lock everything with a trade number. You don't have a trade number, you are not locked. I don't care what happens. Have to have it. So just make sure. And again, who are we talking about? Just the larger guys here. Make sure, because it's going to be up to Jason and I what we want to do with the product. If you want to sell it with us, which we really encourage, right? Partner with us, and we can give you a better price that allows us to go out on the air, retail out. But if he's like, nope, I just want my money, that means we've got to get it, ship it, get our money, right? And then you get your money, right? It's a 10-day process, which is still faster than you get any money anywhere. Faster than you can get money out of your IRA or 401k or anything like that. But it's going to take a minute, right? You know, because here's the problem. You know, $20 gold piece is $250,000, right? I mean, it just doesn't take very many anymore to have it be significant amounts of money. I want people to understand the two biggest wholesalers in the world are on the east of the country. So anytime after 2 o'clock Arizona time, it creates a little bit of a problem for Jason and I, because there's nowhere for us if we want to, especially, and I'll say this, for those of you that don't want to partner, then it's a problem. Fridays in particular are a problem. So if you need to sell and you need to sell large quantities, call us and try to do it early in the day. so we can figure out what we want to do. Because, look, yesterday's a good example. Gold, which right now, by the way, gold's up $35, $4,000 and change. But gold yesterday was $4,050 when I got on the air. By the time I got off the air 3 hours later, it was $3,950. That's a $100 move in 3 hours. And it actually did it. I'll be honest with you. It actually did it in less than 2, right?
Silver was 51 and change, right?
Yeah. Well, by the way, silver still over 50 and change now.
But yesterday it closed around 49.
Yeah.
Somebody did not want record high yesterday, and there's some nervous people going into the weekend.
Yes. So I'll just say, here's the thing. My father-in-law was in this industry for a very long, pretty much his whole adult life. I don't know that he saw a single $100 move. Not one. Right? Eric saw a couple with me. There are going to be several $100 moves. There's going to be days where gold will jump $300 or $400. There will be days silver jumps $10 or $15. There are going to be days where they fall by that same amount. So help us help you so we can make sure, right, we're all covered. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. We've got a lot of breaking news, so really quickly, let's get into it right now. The Dow is down 150 points. It's going to be a crazy day, just so you know. The S&P is down 35. The Nasdaq's down 200. The 10-year note, a big down day right now, 407. We'll watch. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know gold is on fire. It's up $33, 40,010. Silver, here we go again, right? We hit a new all-time record high intraday yesterday. Right now, silver's up $1.31, 50.25. Big news breaking here. China yesterday put in a rare earth, I don't want to say, I'll call it what is not a ban, but a penalty, a rare earth penalty, restricting rare earth minerals that the United States is going to be allowed to purchase under the new rules. They added 5 rare earth elements to this list. This is having to do with magnets, having to do with, elements needed for the United States militarily, saying that requiring export licenses for all of these and essentially saying, hey, you're going to pay an export licensing fee. They now are having this export license on 12 out of the 17 rare earths. The license will also be required for the export of technologies used in rare earth mining, smelting, processing, as well as for magnet manufacturing. Now, remember, the Trump administration, they've been buying stakes in U.S. rare earth miners. Well, apparently, the way I'm reading this, these miners need to buy stuff from China to be able to process it. And now the Chinese are going to say, well, if that's the case, you're going to have to pay for it. Donald Trump, this is just breaking now, is now threatening massive tariffs on China over the rare earth policy. By the way, China was not done. They also imposed a penalty for all U.S. bound in and outbound ships in Chinese ports. So think about yesterday, we had India say, hey, you know what? That's it. We're done messing around. We're just going to buy Russian oil and Chinese renminbi. We're not going to buy it in rupees or rubles or dollars. They were still buying a lot of it in dollars. We're just going to buy it all in renminbi. We had Brazil come out and say, hey, guess what, guys? Hey, we just bought 16 metric tons of gold at all-time record high prices, and guess what? We're going to buy more, a lot more. And then China fired off with this rare earth licensing and penalties, and obviously it looks like a way to hamper competition, primarily from the United States, by saying, hey, listen, we've got all the know-how in this, right? We know how to mine the rare earth, we know how to smelt it, we know how to do it, and all the stuff that you need to do it is made here in China. And then this morning, President Trump saying that, it's a threat right now. Massive increases in tariffs on the Chinese over the issue here, Jason. So this is now Dow's down over 200 now. Yeah, this is going to be very interesting here, as I think we've got several things at play. We've got the debasement trade. We've got a trade war that seemingly every time we think it's about ready to go away, it comes back with a vengeance. And it appears maybe a coordinated effort by the BRICS nations to really push the issue here. Well,
what happened, was it 2 days ago? And Brazil's bragging about how much more gold they got. You just talked about on there, I think it was yesterday, and then gold came crashing down, and now it's right back. Silver did the same. It felt like yesterday somebody wanted silver to not finish the day above 50 and get it to the weekend, Joe. So, there's a lot of puffing up in the world, isn't there, Joe? There's a lot of puffing up, and who's got the position, and then this. Someone's going to make a whole lot of money, and someone's going to lose a whole bunch of money. And Joey, we can feel it. We sense it, right?
Yeah. Right now, I've got. We always say you don't know what the next call is going to be. You don't know what's going to walk into the door next. I've got $20 gold pieces, $39.95. That's $15 below spot. If you buy 10 or more, $39.75. Right now, spot gold is $4,010. Of course, December gold, right? That's like $4,025. 800. 9510592. I'm working on a silver deal here. We'll get to that during the break. So coming out of the break, we'll have an opportunity for you to jump in on the silver market. But $20 gold piece. This is the fifth time that we're below spot on $20 gold pieces. Take advantage here. This thing, wow, what a turn. We just never know what's happening. I mean, in general, when we look, we know that everybody's looking to diversify. That's apparent. People are concerned because they're not sure. They're like, well, gosh, we've seen gold spike before. We've seen silver get to 50 before. And then, usually there's a big correction. Doesn't look like there's a big correction. There is, I will say this, and I don't like to do a lot of this, but I think there's a better than, you know what, let's just say there's a 50-50 chance silver $60 next week. Yeah, I know, right? That seems crazy, but it's true. By the way, in other news, the person to replace Jay Powell. We are down to 5. I'm going to read you the 5. One of them is new and probably shouldn't be a shocker. First, Vice Chair Michelle Bowman. Okay, Bowman was a dissenter when they didn't cut rates back in July. She is the vice chair. She's technically the number 2. I don't think she gets the job. Fed Governor Christopher Waller. Right now, he is the New York Fed Governor. He is also right up there, also a dissenter, a big rate cutter. I say that there's he's in the running. That's my opinion. I don't have any insight. Kevin Hassett, the director of National Economic Council, I don't think he gets the job. But he is, listen, this guy wants to go to 1%. Former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh, also another big cutter. I think he's in the running. But it was this one that caught my eye. BlackRock's fixed income CIO Rick Reeder is the 5th one to make the cut. I shouldn't be surprised. All of a sudden, I would say if there's the dark horse in that race, it would be Reeder. Obviously, we already knew Warsh, Hassett, and Waller. They threw Bowman and Reeder in there. But, Jason, this is a list. Everybody on this list is a massive rate cutter. They are fully on board with the print more money campaign, and this is why I think we're seeing these huge reactions around the world because they get it, right? Hey, yeah, it is currency debasement because everyone's doing what the United States is going to do anyway, right, Jason?
Well, that's normally what happens. Yeah, that's usually what'll happen. But there's a lot of players that are, as you said with the BRICS. There's definitely something happening. There's a game being played, isn't there, Joe? There's posturing. But America is the lead. It doesn't matter what's happening. America is the country that you have to follow economically.
So, yeah, right now, man, gold's up 40. Get ready. Boy, this $20 gold deal gets better and better here. Gold now 40.20, 4,020. Remember, $20 gold pieces, $39.95, 10 or more, $39.75. I just want to point this out. Silver in London is over $51. It's $1 an ounce more than the silver price in New York. And as I've been telling you, there's no silver out there. Lease rates. I keep talking about lease rates. This is incredible because the lease rates were over 10% going into this week. They hit 12% earlier this week. So think about this. Hey, I need some silver to make a physical delivery. I don't have it. Can I borrow some of yours and I'll pay you back later? Okay? And let's just say, hey, I need 5 tons of silver. Dude, I'll get you next week or I'll get you next month. Okay, I'll give it to you, but you got to pay me 12%. Right? So think about silver near $50. That means you got to pay, over $55. Today, the lease rates blew out to epic proportions. It's a 19% lease rate. So essentially, in London, if you want physical silver, because you need it to make delivery, you're paying, essentially, Jason, $60 an ounce. And that's why I said it earlier, don't be surprised next week to see silver at 60.
Yeah. And once again, the retail is not buying it up. So the ability to get the full spot price is eroding currently. And Joe, and there are those from talking to you this morning. There are those that are very nervous that well, maybe we're going to see a huge crash in the silver price, and people are worried that they're going to be caught in a bad position. So it's that kind of nervousness in the gold silver market I haven't really been a part of. I was not a part of 2011 silver. I was not a part of 2012 silver and gold.
No.
And
I was here. I was right here in this seat. I watched it all play out.
It must have been, as the price was going down, it was probably frustrating, but also kind of exciting at the same time, right?
Well, you know what made it okay is there really wasn't any silver out there. So it's the exact opposite of what we're seeing today. So today, it's all the big guys gobbling it up. 2011, it really was the little guys gobbling it all up, right? And then, of course, what did they do? Wipe out the little guys. The little guys aren't in on this. This is all big guys. 800-951-0592. Gold's up $42 here. 4,020. This is not a good development here. It just looks like BRICS in the United States are going to be in a full-blown trade war. China using probably its best weapon, the rare earths. We'll see what happens. Of course, it's the weekend, so the timing is perfect. But right now, gold's up almost $43, $4,020. Silver is higher, back above 50 as well. The Dow is now down 500 points. The 10-year note selling off. So this is, right, this makes a lot of sense, doesn't it, okay, here we go. Things have just developed. So Trump and Xi were supposed to meet next week. That meeting has been canceled. Okay, so that's another. China becoming a hostile partner, and Donald Trump canceling the meeting with Xi Jinping. And we'll continue to watch. I don't know what else to say. We'll just continue to watch it here. $20 gold pieces, $3,995. That's $25 below spot. But hey, if you buy 10 or more, $3,975. Yeah, so what? $45 below on silver. So got more utility silver that walked in the door. So the last of it went pretty fast. Here's what we've got. I've got 100 rolled half-dollar rolls. So 20 half-dollars rolled, and they're at $340 a roll. That is $47.55. That's like $2.50-some cents, $2.60 below spot. I've got 100 of those. I've got 6 quarter bags. These are not rolled. 4 of them are half dollars. 1 bag of quarters. 1 bag of dimes. All of them are $8,375. These are quarter bags, and just so you know, a quarter bag's just under 179 ounces of silver. That equates to $46.85. So $3.25, something like that. $3.25 under spot, under melt. Last but not least, I've got 4 half bags of half dollars. And you guys know the half dollars have the premium. A half bag, I have $16,500. That's $46.15. So silver at $50.15. That's me $4 under the spot price of silver. And this morning, if you wanted physical silver in London and you didn't have it, you essentially had to pay $60 in the London exchange because they wanted a 19% penalty, if you will, lease rate for you to borrow silver. I mean, Jason, you could almost say in a weird way, you're buying silver, a half bag of halves, that'd be like $14 under spot. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, it's there's lots going on in silver and gold right now. It's really there's a bunch of dust getting kicked up right now. Joe and I can't say for sure what exactly is going to happen over the next week, or let's just say the back couple of weeks or months of this year.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, this is one of those possibilities where you can, I tell people to buy gold and silver for savings. You hold on to it and you put yourself in a nice, comfortable spot. This is one of the few times there's been once or twice. I think before COVID, I was telling people, hey, the next 9/11 is coming, stock up. This is the next leg up, the good old days. Well, I can't say we're in the good old days for a while now because things are moving so much, and what's getting ready to happen, this might be one of those moments where, hey, you're buying the silver. The worst that happens is you got yourself in a nice spot. What really could happen is you could end up buying silver under $50, and it's going to be $75 by Christmas.
Well, and again, remember, I've been warning you for the last couple of weeks about, is there going to be a missed delivery in silver? And I think today, that 19% lease rate shows it, because the people that have it know that those that don't. And think about this. If you don't pay it, you're going to fail on your delivery, which will send the silver market skyrocketing. So, Jason, they're sitting there saying, yeah, I'll give you some silver. I'll lend it to you for $60 an ounce. I'll lend it to you for $60 an ounce because that's your only choice, because otherwise the silver market is going to snap. And I really think they're trying to figure out how they're going to get out of this. And I don't know that there's not an easy answer. It's not like you can just call up hey, Barrett, can you get in there? Can you,
One of the, back in Andrew Jackson's days when he was getting rid of the central bank, and the central bank this is after he got rid of the central bank, the Bank of England still had tons of friends here in the United States, and they caused a depression. That is, they didn't have the metrics like they did in the 1900s, but they speculate that depression was probably much more severe than the Great Depression. And what happened was the banks just sucked all of the gold and silver and even the copper money out of circulation, and they froze up the liquidity of buying and selling. You literally had businesses like the Patriot Trading Group or your local department store, hardware store. They're minting their own copper coins so that they can buy and sell. So with what's happening to gold and silver, and then as I said, there's a lot of nervous people in this market right now, is because gold and silver doesn't move at the speed of everything else that wants to move fast. If people are trying to move fast and gold and silver is just, physical gold and silver is like, you know what? It has to be delivered. Sorry, put it on a truck, put it on a plane, put it on a boat. And that's what it looks like is happening, Joe. And if you're talking about trade wars on top of that, talk about slowing up the ability to buy and sell and move this stuff. The price could go ridiculously high. That $100 silver could be by Halloween, Joe.
800-951-0592. Wow. Crazy times right now. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. $20 gold pieces, $39.95. 10 or more, $39.75. Right, got spot gold here right now, 4,015, and then a huge, really. I mean, there are, I guess, a quarter bag of quarters, quarter bag of dimes, one of each, but a huge, half-dollar sale. Rolls of silver $half. We've got 100 rolls. That's a full bag. All rolled up for you, 20 in a roll.
These are all different. There's a bunch of Walking Liberty halves and rolls.
Walking Libs.
There's some rolls of Kennedys. There's some Franklins. It's a lot of them are solid rolls of certain. Some of them are mixed rolls. It's you'll get a variety. I guess the first people that buy, I'll let you cherry pick if you want Walking Liberty. Some guys like the older ones. I'll get as many.
These are in Colorado as we speak, so we'll have them lickety split here.
Yeah, I could call you essentially today or by Monday.
Right now, a roll of $half $395. So we're back to $45 off here at $340. If you want to save some more money, we've got 4 quarterbacks at $8,375.
And 4 half bags.
Right. And that'd save even more money. So like a roll, $340. Okay. A quarter bag, which would have essentially 25 rolls in it, right? That's 25 rolls equivalent, a quarter bag, at $83.75. So buy roll, $47.55. Buy a quarter bag. Say, I don't need the rolls, just give me the quarter bag. $46.85 an ounce. Hey, give me a half bag. $16,500. That's $46.15 an ounce. So the more you can buy, the more you can save. But
I'm going to tell you right now,
you're just talking just a huge opportunity.
I'm going to tell you right now, the distributors, the wholesalers, they're very unhappy with junk silver. It's that enigma. They'd rather just have pure silver. They'd rather but what's going to happen, and what's really looking like is going to happen as the silver market stays red hot, is all the stuff that you guys don't buy is going to be offloaded and melted, and this is happening all over the country. They've had the huge meltdowns of these pre-64 silver coins before, and at some point, these are going to be like Morgan dollars, and they're going to have a premium. Yeah, there's the silver, but there's also, you just can't find them anymore. These are going to be melted. This is just like 1980, Joe. How much junk silver got melted in 1980, Joe?
So much. Oh, man, that's, it's crazy to think about, but I think Jason's right. This is a situation where I think you're just going to see a lot of this disappear because, hey, guys, we need this. We need this for AI. We need this for data warehouses. We need this for electric vehicles. We need this for solar. And they just can't get it out of the ground. We've talked about, Mexico was so important to the silver market. Do you know that Mexico almost at one point triple the amount of silver mined than any other country in the world? It's down to less than double and shrinking by the day, right? And Mexico's got their own problems. And I don't know, right? It's mine mismanagement or guys, or maybe, just maybe, it's getting harder and harder to get this stuff out of the ground.
My guess is a little micromanaging is going on at the mines. The guys that are further up are putting the pressure on the workers to crank out production. And when you put a lot of stress on the workforce, things don't go right? Like that
There's no miner in the world that isn't right now telling their plant managers, their mine managers, we want every ounce of silver and gold and platinum and palladium.
We need 110% production.
That you can get out of the ground.
Whatever the normal daily amount. We need to crank it up from the 100% that we need per day. We need to go to 110% production now. Right. And here's the thing. 3 years ago when the silver premiums were racing right around the inflation, Joe, do you remember it wasn't just the Silver Eagle premiums that went up. Do you remember that junk silver suddenly became hard to get? It just disappeared.
Silver $half hit a high premium of $12.
So if the wholesalers are kind of just, we're tired of this stuff, you know something's going to happen with the junk silver again, and there's going to be another huge melt. I mean, Joe, was it earlier this year, late last year, they were melting 1-ounce gold eagles. Yeah. And that's going to happen again. You watch the melting that goes on if China and Brazil decide, and India decides, America, we're going to mess up this metals market real bad for you. And then America has to figure out how to satisfy the Western nations, which has a lower appetite for silver and gold, but they'll be on their own. They won't be able to trade freely if this thing gets worse. I mean, isn't Trump going to Israel? Nothing ever seems to
go to Israel this weekend.
Nothing ever goes good when Israel's involved, and that's getting ready to happen. And everyone's going to be like, oh, it's about the Gaza war. You really think that the most highly financialized country in the planet, which is the Rothschilds country of Israel, that they're going to be talking about something other than the war? I think Trump is going there because things are getting ready to happen, and they got to talk about really important things. And the Gaza war will just be a big cover. That's what everyone's going to talk about, Gaza and... and Joe, why do I get the feeling there's going to be a lot of economics going on in Israel? Very, very rich people there.
There was that APEC summit in South Korea where him and Xi were supposed to meet. That is off as well.
China's out and Israel's on. Uh-oh.
800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. Final segment of the week. Wow. This was not the show I thought we were going to do when I got here this morning. That's for sure. Stay with us. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment here as I guess the trade war is back. China kind of joining India and Brazil with, I would say, actions counterproductive to what Donald Trump would like to see happen. Brazil now announcing that there will be a major player in the gold markets moving forward. India essentially saying, that's it, we're just going to buy all Russian oil in Chinese renminbis. Then China coming out and saying rare earths, we're going to tax it, and we're also going to charge port fees for U.S.-bound vessels and ships. President Trump this morning saying China has become hostile, cancels the meeting with Xi Jinping at the APEC summit in South Korea. It is now threatening massive tariff retaliations. You got gold above $4,000 again this morning. Silver above $50 after it hit a record yesterday, sold off. Now back above 50. This will be a record high close. Looking for the first silver close here above 50. We have $20 gold pieces, all of it below spot here, $39.95, 10 or more, $39.75. And then I looked and saw, the online guys, where are they at on this, on half dollars? On sale, they're at like $367 to $375 a roll on sale. Ours are $340. But then we also give you discounts if you buy a quarterback, right? So that's 25 rolls unrolled, $8,375. Which brings your price down to $46.85. Silver's $50. Well, we're not done. How about a halfback? You want 50 rolls, the equivalent of 50 rolls of silver? $16,500. And by the way, these are the half dollars, the expensive ones. $46.15. That's $4 below the spot price at 800-951-0592.
Let me say this, Joe, real quick.
Yeah, Jason.
Because this gives you a lot of room in case there's a big sell-off on Monday that you're still going to be above. But here's the thing. It sure feels like there's going to be a lot of wheeling and dealing in high-up places. And what are we looking at gold and silver on Monday? When we have these big up weeks that go with a Friday up day, since the beginning of last year, we've had these huge up days on Monday, and then it just goes. And here we are with another Friday, big up day in gold and silver. We're looking at, I think guys that actually physically have to deal with, like as Joe was saying about the mines and the whole the whole industry from ground to your hands. I think there's going to be a lot of decisions made over this weekend, and don't wake up Monday morning thinking I should have bought a half bag of halves, and then suddenly silver's $54 on Monday. We literally are in a position where things like this, as Joe said earlier in the show, that these things are going to start happening. So
it's hard to see how this gets better over the weekend. The government shutdown's still on. I feel like we're going to be here Monday morning with major tariff announcements against China. Is it going to be BRICS in general? It could be even bigger than that. So, yeah, if it's me, I'm putting my whole foot in the water. 800-951-0592.